Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08 and welcome to the 44th episode of my second 1 billion iron ingot challenge. In today's episode, I'm going to set up, I think 3 more fusion reactors, and one of them will be just as large as the one I set up in the last episode, and the other 2 will be quite smaller. I will have an additional 2 fusion reactors that I will probably not end up setting up this episode, but I will probably do that in the future. So anyways, let's get started. So I have expanded this building, and if you watched the last episode, you know where I'm at. I'm at my new fusion base. I have my hydrogen fusion reactor going right here, but I've done a lot of work in this building since last episode. Pretty much I've got everything ready for 5 more fusion reactors. So here's one of the reactors. It is all ready to go. It just needs some liquid pumped in. It even has some coolers ready to go. And I'm using water and emeralds again to cool this reactor. And on the floor above, I have 4 more fusion reactors. And 3 of them are ready to go. I think, let's go ahead and build out this fusion reactor real fast, just so you can see exactly what I've done. So let's get some of the electromagnets. And I shouldn't need too many, so let's just grab that many. And let's kill this stupid spider first. And basically what I've done here is these fusion reactors are allowed to share some of the fusion electromagnets. So basically what I'm doing here is they are sharing as much as possible. And I have them in a pattern like this, and yeah, it works pretty well. So anyways, let's go ahead and set up the electromagnet for this reactor. So let's build that out real fast. And I already have the, or at least some of the energy conduit all ready to go. Not all of it, but some of it. So actually it's really nice to have fusion reactors share electromagnets like this, because you get a little bit better efficiency. You don't lose quite as much, because obviously it takes power to power the electromagnets. So yeah, since they're shared, the electromagnets still they draw the same amount of power, each individual electromagnet blocks. So yeah, you're saving just a little bit of power by doing it this way. So let's go ahead and finish the top layer here, and then we can do the top layer of electrical for this, or the RF for this, and then this one will also be ready to go. Okay, so that's the last block right here, and then I just need some of the flux duct to complete this build. So let's see here. We want this. I think that is correct, yes. So let's just run this around. Then I need to hit the corners, just like before. The corners are unpowered using the method that I'm using. So we have to do this to hit the corners. Not a big deal though. Okay, so and then yeah, cool. So everything's all connected up. Okay, so in the past, I've always had it to where it takes a little while for it to recognize, but it already recognizes that it's completed. Okay, so the last thing I need to do here is I actually have capacitors on these newer reactors, and they are the output capacitors. They can handle 200,000 RF per tick because they are 8 of the vibrant capacitor blocks. So let's go ahead and complete this. And so I need 7 more of these. So there we go, 7. I think I can get rid of that. So, oh shoot, that is wrong, because I have some of the painted capacitors. At least I thought I did. Maybe I don't have any more. Oh duh, I have them with me. Whoops. So yeah, let's just build this out, and then that should be 200,000 RF. It does have, let's see, this will be the output, and then this is the input, which this is under the corner right here of the fusion reactor. So that's where the energy will come in. It will go out to the flux duct there, and that will carry it to the output capacitor, which is in the basement. So most of getting everything ready for today's episode was just routing all the conduits, because we have three different lines of flux ducts. We have the jumpstart flux duct for the fusion reactors. We have the output from the fusion core, and then we have a capacitor that powers the electromagnets. So let's go down and check on everything. I think everything is all rolling. So we only have the one reactor functioning right now. It's producing 263,000 RF per tick. Currently, the electromagnets for all of the reactors are using, I don't know, somewhere probably close to 250,000 RF per tick on average. Maybe a little bit less than that. Not really sure. And then this is the jumpstart capacitor, and that is activated by a lever. But before we can actually jumpstart these fusion reactors, we need to get stuff into them. So for this reactor, I'm going to use deuterium and deuterium. It is a pretty good fuel, and if we look at the fusion fuels here, and we just right-click on the fusion reactor, we can look at, it gives out the base power for each of the fuel combinations. For example, hydrogen is a decent fuel. At 44,000 RF per tick, it's not a great fuel. It does produce deuterium, which is a really good byproduct. But we're going to be using deuterium and deuterium for this first big reactor here. And this produces over twice the amount of power. So that's obviously good. It also produces 4 different fluids. It produces hydrogen, tritium, helium-3, and neutron fluid. Tritium and helium-3 are very, very valuable in and of themselves, and the neutron fluid is also pretty valuable as well. So first off, let's grab a bucket of deuterium. I should have one. Yes, I do. So what I'm going to do is I need to actually go down underneath, because that's where I have the fluid export buses set up, and they are all ready to go. They just are not completely set up to actually handle the deuterium just quite yet. So let's just punch that in, and this should start getting deuterium. I do need to grab some acceleration cards, so let's do that. There we go. And we definitely need to put these in all of the buses. So let's see here. Cool. That is going, and you know what? I think it's time to jumpstart this thing. So I just need to go downstairs. Need to hit this lever. The thing is, this lever controls the jumpstart for all the reactors, and so I'm going to be wasting quite a bit of power right now, because I am heating up the 4 reactors up above that I'm currently not able to actually run just quite yet. So what I'm going to do right now, I think, is I'm just going to go away for a little bit and wait for this reactor to heat up. Hopefully I have enough power to do that. And once it's all ready to go, I will be right back. So I have good news. This reactor is currently running. The thing is, right now it is producing some outputs that I do not have anywhere to store. The hydrogen does have a place to go, but currently I'm using a fluid import bus to get everything stored. But there is nowhere for the helium-3, neutron fluid, or the tritium to go. So I need to fix that. So what I'm going to do real fast is I'm actually going to... Okay, I thought I was going to turn off the reactor. Okay, maybe I need to move this lever. I kind of thought that would turn off the reactor. Yes, okay, so it's off. So what I need to do is I need to find a place to store all of this, and I have an idea for this. So I actually already have some fluid storage buses here, and I will be using those. So let's grab some of the black hole tanks. And actually I'm going to need a few more later on in the episode. So let's go ahead and just craft up some more. So what I'm going to do real fast is I'm going to set this storage bus to be plus, let's do 900. Actually, let's do 902. Actually, you know what? Let's do 905. And let's go ahead and slap a black hole tank here. What should happen is it should import some of that fluid that I have. Okay, so maybe it won't do this voluntarily. Yes, okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to actually get buckets of this stuff. Otherwise, it will not work. So we do have... Okay, so the neutron fluid might be a little bit tricky to do, but the tritium and helium-3 are going to be pretty easy. So what I need to do is I need to grab some empty tanks here. And let's just go ahead and grab 10. That's going to be more than enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up a couple tanks right here and here. I'm going to grab some conduit. I need some fluid conduit. I don't know why I can't think right now. But let's go ahead and set this up. This should be extract, always on. This should be... Okay, why is that not working? Okay, it is. Okay, that's not really what I wanted to happen, but I think that'll be okay. I think what I can do is empty this tank into that tank. Yeah. Okay, so I don't even know quite how that happened, but now I have the deuterium and the tritium. And what we can do is we can grab a bucket of each. And now we can tell those storage buses in the basement to actually store all of this stuff. Actually, I shouldn't have got rid of that because I still need to do the neutron fluid. Okay, so this one right here, this can be the helium-3. And then this one can be the tritium. And let's go ahead and place down a black hole tank for the tritium. Let's go ahead and set this to positive 1000. And let's go ahead and turn that reactor back on to see if it's actually going to export its stuff. Okay, so far it's... Okay, so I think it's just not quite keeping up is what's happening. Because it's doing the tritium. But it's not yet doing the helium. I wonder if adding another import bus might solve this problem. I'm going to let it run for a little while anyways to see if this accumulates to be to a point of where it's actually a problem. And I also need to do that just so I can do the neutron fluid. So I can sort it as well. Okay, so yeah, we have tritium there. Let's go ahead and double check that I have this set up correctly. And actually, it's definitely beneficial to have these buckets around. You know what? Can I do this? I can. Cool. I didn't even know I could do that. Okay, so yeah, we're still having problems with that. So I might want to go down here and add another fluid import bus. Just maybe. And I should have the channels to do this. So, okay, so up top I have, if I do this the same way, I'll be using 16 channels up there. I'll be using 4 here, so that's 20. 21 will be for the emeralds. 22. Yeah, I should have enough. Ooh, it'll be closer than I'd really like, but I should still have enough. So let's do 5 of these guys. Let's get more cards as well. I think that's going to be more than enough. And then I also need to do some more cable. And one more thing that I didn't do the last episode that I kind of discovered between episodes is cable facades from Applied Energistics. They work just like covers. So let's get some of those as well so we can tidy everything up after we're done. And let's go ahead and connect this up. Okay, so yeah, the reactor actually shut down because it's not getting rid of the helium like it should. And I really... Okay, so this is weird. I definitely don't want to avoid the output overflow because I want that helium-3, but it's not pulling the fluids out like it should. I'm not really sure why. I'm really hoping this second import bus will actually solve the problem. Okay, so while I'm waiting on that to actually start functioning like I want, I should probably go ahead and add another import bus to each one of these guys. So let's do that real fast, because it looks like I'm probably going to need that. Oh, shoot. And as well, I need to add some cards. So let's add the cards also. Okay, and I went the wrong way again. If this doesn't, if the just adding another import bus, if that doesn't work, I might have to just pump things out to like a tank somewhere, and then have my system import from there. Not really sure why it's behaving the way it is though. Oh, and I should have done the other bus before I did this. Oh well. And there we go. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have a problem. One of these is not gonna get a channel because right now I'm trying to use 9 channels off of this. Yeah, and that's still not working out. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just going to get rid of the second. I'm going to get rid of all the import buses, I think, because I think I'm going to need a different system to actually get the fluids out of the reactors, because currently it's just not behaving. It really should be pulling this helium-3 out, but it's not, and I don't really know why. So I'm going to get rid of all of the import buses, and I'm going to work on a new solution. And once I have that all figured out, I will be right back. Okay, so I'm optimistic I have come up with a solution that will work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these, I'm going to use pressurized fluid tanks, which are made with dark steel iron bars, dark steel, and hardened glass or fused quartz. And these things hold fluids. So what I'm going to try to do is set this bad boy right here. I'm going to have it input from the reactor itself, and I did not mean to do that. So yeah, apparently you can pick up things by right clicking on it. So yeah, this isn't actually getting the flow rate that I'm going to need. So let's do a little digging here. And actually it looks like, yes, I will be able to use this side. So let's try to stick on an import bus here. And we're going to need some cards, so let's grab some acceleration cards back. Acceleration cards, and then I'm also going to need some conduits, some fluid conduits, and some speed upgrades for that. So the hope here is that I can extract the fluid out of the reactor using conduit here, insert it into the tank here, and then hopefully it'll be imported. I'm not sure if this will work. Not sure at all if this will work. So now I just have to wait for this import bus to actually connect up. Right now I am voiding the extra fluid. That way I can heat up this reactor as I'm trying to figure everything out here. Okay, so yeah, that's... Okay, I kind of think this is going to work. I kind of think it's not. Yeah, I don't think it is. It's just doesn't want to pull out the helium or the neutron fluid. And it's not really keeping up on the tritium either. Interesting. Let's just disable that and see if that changes anything whatsoever. No, not really. Oh, well, that... Okay. It kind of looks like this is going to work. Since, you know, I actually set that up correctly. I still don't know why it's not pulling out the helium, though. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so cool. Let's try to set this to not void the leftover fluid, and I really, really hope... You know what, for just a second I want to turn this thing off, that way I can get some neutron fluid out of it, and that way I can set up the storage bus for that. So let's get a lever here. Let's turn this off. Okay, why did that stop working all of a sudden? Why did that stop working? Why did this bus just stop? I'm really confused. It's like everything here just stopped working, except for the reactor itself. Because it's still showing online, this tank isn't filling any, and this reactor is accruing more and more stuff. Why did it do that? I'm baffled. Okay, so let's actually set this somewhere where maybe this lever won't affect things. Okay, so I'm going to troubleshoot what exactly is going on right now, because this is weird. Obviously, the reactor is still functioning like it should, but the import bus isn't working. So yeah, I'm going to try to figure out exactly what's going on here, and once I do, I'll be right back. Okay, so I figured out the problem, and the problem's actually my fault. Somewhere along the line of my applied energistic stuff down here, I don't have enough channels for this fluid bus, so yeah, it's not storing the helium-3, and that's why the tank was piled up with helium-3. However, the rest of the storage buses are good to go, so I'm just going to move everything down. So we'll set this to be helium-3, we'll set it to be positive 1000, and then I can put down this black hole tank, and it should, in short order, put in some helium-3. So that's fantastic. That looks like that's working. So let's just jump back up here. And okay, so yeah, let's see here. Okay, so I don't know where the neutron fluid went, but it is gone now. So let's go ahead and restart that. Oh, it's probably in the tank actually. It's probably right there. So I will need, let's go ahead and grab a bucket of this stuff. So let's grab a bucket, boom. And then I can set up a storage bus for the neutron fluid, and then that should be good to go. So we'll do neutron fluid right here. We'll do positive 1000. Let's get some more tanks. I know I have some somewhere. Yes, here they are. And let's plop one of those bad boys down. There we go, neutron fluid. And we can, you know what, let's just keep that. So if we go up here, this should be functioning all right now. I'm kind of hoping that the fluid extraction system will be able to keep up. It kind of looks like it will be able to, at least for right now. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So now I have deuterium and deuterium going. I want to actually do something with the helium-3 and the tritium that I'm getting, and I'm going to be using that on the reactors up above. So if we look at these reactors here, I'm just going to do 2 of them. So I need my deuterium. Okay, so actually I need to set these to be prevent overflow. This export can be deuterium. This can be helium-3. And then this one over here, this reactor will be deuterium and tritium. So once again, let's not do that. Let's do this, prevent overflow, deuterium, and then tritium. So as we can see, we are getting our fluids into the reactor, so that's cool. Let's make sure that this one is also getting its fluids into the reactor. So that looks good to me. Let's go ahead and actually set up the... Let's go ahead and set up the fluid extraction system. So I do have plenty of space to do that. So let's go right here. And let's actually just grab everything we need in one fell swoop. Actually need a couple of the import buses. 2 of these guys. So we should be able to do everything in one fell swoop here. So this needs to be import. Definitely acceleration cards. We need the fluid conduit right here. Needs to be insert there and extract from over here. Always on with speed upgrades. Okay, why is that? Did that seriously just pull helium out of this tank? Because it really shouldn't do that. Okay, so let's do the same thing over here. Okay, so yeah. I kind of think it did, and I don't want to see that, and that's not cool. Oh, that's the wrong upgrades. Derp. Oh, I think I know what happened. That tank already had the helium in it. Okay, good. I was starting to panic, and I thought maybe it was pulling from one of the tanks. That tank already had helium in it. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Is this... So what I need to do is I actually need to jump these reactors. So let's get on that. And in addition to that, let's actually see how this fusion reactor is doing. It's not producing very much power, but it will definitely get there in time. It's still at 0% efficiency, and it is producing over 1,000 RF per tick, so that's always nice to see. This fusion reactor should do far in excess of what this reactor is doing, which is 263,000 RF per tick. The one above, I'm thinking it'll do maybe about 500. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Okay, so let's jump those guys. Okay, so I think it'll be this one and this one right here. While I'm waiting on that, I also want to keep my eye on this guy. This reactor does have the cooling set up. The 4 above do not. I will go ahead and do the 4 above off camera between episodes probably. I'm not going to worry about it today or right now. But yeah. Okay, so one thing I should definitely mention is the deuterium-tritium fuel requires a far lower temperature than the other fusion fuels. So if we look at the fusion reactor and right-click on it, it actually gives an optimal temperature for each fuel combination. For example, hydrogen is 2,608 megakelvin. Deuterium, which is the bigger reactor downstairs that I set up today, is 5,825 megakelvin. The deuterium-tritium mix is the lowest out of all of the fuel combinations, and that's only at 816 megakelvin. And then the deuterium and helium-3 is fairly low temperature as well at 2,888 megakelvin. So these reactors are getting there. They're almost ready to go, which is good to see. It's kind of spiking up and spiking down. I wonder if this capacitor is not... No, it looks fine. I guess it's just probably the insane amount of power that these fusion cores can pull as they're heating up. Okay, let's see here. We're almost there. And we are there. So I'm not sure what these reactors actually make as far as their byproducts. Okay, hydrogen, helium, and helium. I will need to do something with the helium. And let's see, neutron fluid. Okay, this looks like it will be good to go. Because, let's double check, deuterium and tritium here. And that should be the second page. Helium, and neutron fluid. Okay, so I don't know where the helium is. I don't know where it's going, but it's going somewhere. Okay, I wonder if I didn't set something up with the fluid extraction wrong on this one. No, it's just this bus isn't quite hooked up quite yet. And this one's probably the same way. Yes, okay, so I still need to do something about the helium. So let's grab that. And let's set up that storage bus. So this one will be helium plus 1000. There we go. Okay, cool. So that looks good to go. And I think just about wrapping up point for today's episode. Let's make sure that everything's running like it should. And then, okay, yeah. One thing I haven't mentioned is that these fusion cores, they actually have a spinning effect for the visual. The faster it's spinning, the higher your efficiency is. So as we can see, this reactor is still not in any kind of efficient mode, and it's already producing 5,000 RF per tick, which is pretty fantastic. And let's go ahead and check on these guys. So this one... Okay, so I'm not really sure why it's taking so long for those import buses to connect up, because this one is connected fine. I wonder if I didn't have some routing problems here. Okay, device online. Okay, so it says it's on. I wonder if this... Oh, you know what? Yep. I had that on input for whatever reason, and that just didn't want to play nice. Okay, so one thing yeah, this one is already getting decent efficiency, and it's already producing more than the deuterium reactor down below. It's at 5% efficiency and already producing 26,000 RF per tick. One thing I did mention earlier in the episode, and I haven't played with yet, is the cable anchors, I think is what they're called. So let's go ahead and use these real fast. What we can do is make this look all nice and pretty, and I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can. It's kind of looking like maybe I can't. So, you know what? Let's do this real fast. And then try to reconnect this up. Okay, that will work. So that's good to know. At least it looks like it will. No, I want it to go underneath. Okay, so let's also grab some facades, a couple facades. And apparently you can paint these pressurized tanks, but you can only paint them as fluids, I believe. So that's kind of odd, but whatever. So I think everything's good to go. One thing I will have to do between episodes, like I said, is I need to set up some active cooling for these fusion reactors, these little fusion reactors up here. I do have the cooling already functioning for this reactor right here. And if we check it right here, we have 5,000 Kelvin per tick in cooling, and that will be 100%. So that will keep it at 100% efficiency once I actually get there. But yeah, it's definitely time to wrap up. So in today's episode, I set up this fusion reactor right here, and then I set up 2 of the 4 fusion reactors up here. I'm using a deuterium mix for the bigger reactor downstairs, and then deuterium and helium-3 for this reactor, and deuterium and tritium for this reactor. All of the fuel combinations I'm using today are very good fuel combinations, this being the best. To be honest, I'm not sure if I will be able to actually keep this reactor going, especially because it burns a little bit quickly, and I'm not sure I'm producing enough tritium to keep it going. But anyways, I mean, it's kind of just gravy at this point. This thing produces a lot of power already, and it's not even close to 100% efficiency. So anyways, let's see here. As of right now, I have 216 million iron ingots. I think I'm getting around 15 or 16 million iron ingots per day. Not 100% sure on what my exact rate is, but anyways, it's really, really nice. And I am quickly approaching the 1 billion goal. So anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode, definitely give it a like. If you enjoy watching automation in modern Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.